In spite of everything, in order to make sure that we get things right in fish farming, so Catfish Solution Academy use that as an opportunity in order to support farmers in anywhere you are. So that is why we encourage you guys to join our mentorship class, which is online mentorship that we give adequate training. You don't need to be there. We don't need to be there with you, but we stand online to guide you, to teach you, to correct you on virtually all activities that may be a sort of challenges to your farm. So presently what you are watching is I'm trying to showcase what we call a mentorship services done to a farm far away from us, and as you can see from the background, we are giving subsequent introduction, and we are giving directions to do things right. So basically on this video we had a report of a challenges on the water turbidity and some water parameters that is lacking correction. So that is what we are trying to put in place today. So when we got the report, the advice we gave is just to have a combo of a filtration system in order to get it perfectly in the hatchery. So what we are getting to do now is that we are setting up a combo filtration system depending on the parameters, or depending on the factors that you may have in your farm. So if you want us to do something of such to you, we need to go through, maybe we need to hear from you. If you have a lab test, we need to check your test, and we can easily diagnose on what we thought will be needful for your farmers to be perfect. So laying down the stone of a solid hatchery facility, we are on live now in order to train this farm and to give them the solution to their problems, to the challenges. So I do encourage you guys, before I go more further on this, I will really encourage you guys, if you have not been on our mentorship list, or you are thinking we are far off from you, and you are thinking the mentorship will not help you, the truth has to be told that it helps everyone everywhere you have. So let me just insightly give you a brief history of what we call, or what the benefit of what a mentorship program can do for you. This can open doors for you, and closed doors can be open for you. That means if you're having a lot of challenges before that is hindering you from getting to where you are, if you get a mentor, that means a mentor that you thought this you have a like mind with, this will automatically help you in open that door. That means it may be an easier door, but for you to come by, opening the door may be a little bit difficult for you. This program will help you to do that, and you may be well secured and be well satisfied after a well done. This may inspire you to as well. Inspiration is to encourage you, guide you, and make you do perfect and do things well in your farm. Support and encourage farmers. This mentorship scheme has that potential to achieve the dream that you feel like, that means the desired dream that you feel like having. The mentorship program will conveniently give it to you. A mentor can make a profound difference in the lives of the mentee. That means we'll make sure that what the profile difference in you will bring it out. That is the potentials in our mentee has to come out through our mentorship guide, and conveniently it turns you on and strengthens your farm. So based on what you the present challenges you are facing. So being up to that, for what you are watching here, you are watching series of activities being done. And note, this activity you are just watching in a minute takes days, because this has to go through a lot of what we call processing and activation. Yeah, the processing may comes from every materials that you are using in order to get a perfect filtration system, or what we call the treatment plant system, has to go through a lot of processes. The processes may comes from the activation of some of those materials. So you must understand how to activate virtually most of those materials. And the fact about it is that most of the materials you are using, we have what we call the locally made materials and the one we call the foreign materials. The foreign materials are the likes of the bow. What I mean by bow is that the bow filter, we have the bow balls, the bow's ring, and so on and so forth. This what will constitute your mechanical and what we call your bow filtration. And for the locally made one, which is a little bit cheaper and works perfectly, I will tell you the truth, because going by a locally made filtrating system, there's no amount of turbidity you may have. And for those of us who have what we call the high hardiness, that means the level of your hardiness is higher than the required level. This filtration system will bring it down drastically. That's the truth. This will bring it down drastically. And for those of you who are having what we call a lower hardiness, the compartment, that means the materials that will be included in this plant, will also help you in cushioning up the hardiness when it is lower. So it works as a pal, and this depending on the challenges that you want us to solve for you. If you are using the locally made materials to do this, I told you earlier, it's a little bit cheaper, and it has to go through a lot of system. That is the truth. It has to go through a lot of system. What I mean by a lot of system is that it's like you are taking what we call a raw material, and you are trying to process the raw material for use. So you have to understand this. If you join our mentorship scheme, this will have to be taking you through, tutor you through on a regular basis. You need to take you through the process. And what we have essentially is that if you are using the likes of what we call the carbon, that means you are asked to use an activated carbon. And as we all know, the benefit of an activated carbon to our water. So if you are using an activated carbon, we will help you in order to activate the carbon, that means your charcoal. So because we are using what we call the locally made charcoal. So if you are using a locally made charcoal and you do not know how to activate this carbon, you are still on a long thing. So our mentorship program will direct you how to activate your carbon and your charcoal so that it can be used. Because as we know, I told you we are using what we call a locally made materials all through. And if you are using a locally made material all through, all what you are using will be locally made. So as we know, if you go to the market, the cost of an activated carbon, an imported activated carbon, is very, very expensive. So prior to that, we help you activate your carbon. We tell you the process of activating your carbon. And activated carbon, it works mainly on water turbidity. It works mainly for smelling of your water. And if you are having a lower what we call a lower ion in your water, this help you in filtrating your ion. That means removes the substance of the ion. That means a minute ion, because ion has categories. If you have a lesser ion, this will help you take it off. And For microbes, that means if you have higher phosphorus in your water, it takes care of your phosphorus, take care of the microbes on your water. That means it takes care of the microbes in your water. And as we are going, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure that you always follow us on all our social media, and make sure that you like and share. Invite friends and family to join these great programs. I know there are a lot of people that wanted these services out there. Make sure that you allay them and let them join this wonderful program. This may be helpful, and it may be helpful for them, and it may help them succeed in the process. So let me continue. The program has to be staged, and it has to be measured based on the material we are putting, based on the test analysis, or based on the requirement we got from you. That means when you tell us your challenges, we advise you the amount of material each that will be put into the plant. And this, I told you, will help you, will guide you, will make things the challenges being easier for you in your farm. So this is just a little bit of what we do on our mentorship scheme. So make sure that you join our mentorship scheme anywhere you are in the country. If you are outside the country, make sure you join. We have a lot of mentee from the US, the Canada. We have the likes of the Zambia, Gambia. We have in Malawi. We have in Kenya. And this program have been helping a lot of people basically on their hatchery process. If you want to start up an hatchery program, we do that to you as well. We have in Kenya, we have in Zambia, we have in Tanzania that we do, and we help in activating what we call how to hatch a channel catfish. So, and we have been doing that, and we have been successful in all areas. So make sure that you join this scheme. Make sure that you contact the number on the screen, so that we'll tell you, we will size your capacity, we tell you, we guide you, we tell you what it takes for you to be on our mentorship programs. So note that you need to understand to get it right in all businesses, basically in livestock, and I would say point it out in catfish farming. You need an experienced mentor to guide you, to tell you what to do, to inspire you, to encourage you, and so that you can be well assured of a perfect result in your business. Note, there's no money that is lost. The little you give, the more you have when you are doing things right. So once again, my name once again still remain Odutola Isa Abiodun GTM, your great uncle on this channel. I will say to you once again, this is an opportunity for you. We have a lot of ebooks available. Make sure that you get your copy. We have virtually 11 ebooks on cartridge farming and price management. We have the one for the financial aspect of fish farming.